My Turo fleet is printing money. Between finding ways to cut down on my monthly expenses to continuing to have nearly 100% utilization on my car, this Nissan Sentra is set to earn me a hefty profit. And to add to that, later in this video, we are going to be purchasing yet another vehicle to add to the fleet in cash. But before we get into profit figures and I go over my plan to expand this fleet from one vehicle to many cars, the Nissan Sentra just got back from a trip at the airport, which is about 2 miles away from my house. Usually this is where I book an Uber for 15 bucks, but you guys can see behind me, I bought this electric scooter for $295 on eBay, and it should save me a lot more than that by taking this scooter instead of booking Ubers. The only thing that sucks about the scooter is it has a max speed of 10 miles per hour. I'm literally riding so slow right now on the side of the highway, but you guys can see we've now made it to the airport and the parking lot's over there, and whipping into the parking lot where the Turo car is parked at. Skirt, we're gonna ride around this beam. Now that we're inside, we gotta find the Nissan Sentra, and the hack I have to find Turo cars quick is to just press lock on the car until you hear it beep. I hear the Sentra beeping, guys. The car's somewhere over here. But now that we found the Turo car, let's go ahead and open it up on the inside to see how clean the guest returned it. And boom, you guys can see the car is looking super clean both in the back and when you check inside the front right here. Literally almost perfect. Shout out to these guests. Now when we turn the car on, you guys can see the guests returned the car with a full tank of gas and 4,445 miles on the odometer. The car's only been rented out for about 7 weeks, and that's a pretty decent amount of miles to put on a car in that time. But luckily, I've already had my first oil change on the Nissan Sentra.
See, your tires are good all the way around. They're at 8s. Your front brakes are at 8. You got drums in the back. Everything looks good.
And it was completely free along with my next two, since that's the deal the dealership gave me. But on that note, the Nissan Sentra is about to go on another trip later today from the airport at 7 p.m. and it's going to be rented for an entire 7-day period, earning us $325.28. So I think we've got to pack the scooter up in the trunk and take the vehicle to the car wash, since it's got to get ready for its next trip. I'm now spending just under $20 per month for a car wash membership that includes unlimited outside washes and access to their vacuums, which are really suctiony. Then I drove the car back to the airport for its trip later in the day and scootered back home for 2 miles. Also, shout out to the person who mentioned in my last Turo video that I should purchase an electric scooter instead of paying for constant Uber rides. This baby has already saved me over $100. My only regret is buying a cheap electric scooter. I could have bought one that was slightly more expensive that went a lot faster, and looking back, I wish I did that, but for now, this scooter will have to do until it snows, in which case we might have to ski to the airport. I'll just make sure not to book an Uber since that's way too expensive. For the month of November, I had a total of 4 airport rentals, so the scooter already saved me $120. And breaking down my other monthly expenses, the car wash membership came out to $21.67 monthly, and the total cost for the electric scooter on eBay was $290.25. But you guys can see the revenue on the car ended up being $760 last month, putting us at a cash flow of $448.18. And of course, I know you guys are going to be like, what about insurance? What about depreciation? Well, for insurance, I pay it every 6 months, but it works out to almost exactly $100 monthly. And as for depreciation, I'm not going to give you guys some BS calculation every single month on how much the vehicle depreciated. That may or may not be accurate. But with that being said, I looked up the car's value on TrueCar and it said $16,250, which feels kind of low, especially considering I paid $26,000 for the vehicle after taxes, after paying for the warranty. So my car salesman might have cooked me, but luckily he's my roommate, so we'll be able to confront him later. You sold me the car for $26K and it's $16,000 on TrueCar.
No, I sold you the car for 20 whatever, and then taxes you had to pay no matter what. Title license you got to pay no matter what. You bought the warranty, which is going to save you on a ton of money.
So I'm buying a Subaru.
Okay, and that car could break tomorrow and not have a safety inspection, so you don't know what's wrong with it. You wouldn't have your first through oil changes covered.
My car salesman roommate has very controversially gotten my business twice now on this channel, and as much as I'd like to help him print more cash, I think it's time to purchase another vehicle private sale. And luckily my friend Aaron found me the perfect vehicle out in Denver, Colorado, where he lives. It's a 2019 Subaru Outback with 78,000 miles on the odometer, listed at $16,000. Apparently it has some minor issues like a broken front side mirror, but the KBB value on the car is $17,129, which is an $1,100 spread between the price, so we'll be walking into this deal with some equity. After expressing my interest in the car, Aaron was able to set up a time to go look at it, and he experienced some minor issues.
So I went out, I actually checked it out, and I brought the mechanic with me. We only found a couple things, but it was actually perfect because we got there and the battery was dead. So he literally was all shook about the battery being dead, and I was like, oh man, this might not be good. Like, it's probably not a good car. Jump started it, started right up, like literally no issues.
But he was also able to talk the guy down on the price since the car might need a new battery and the side mirror was also broken.
I would have said like buy it at 15.5, but I get back and I'm like, dude, I don't know. There's a lot of things that we've seen with it. Like the mirror has been clipped. It didn't even start when we first got here. Just trying to get him down at all. He like thought for a second. He's like, I do need money. I'll do 14.5. So it's yours if you want it.
Dude, honestly, for like 14,500, that's well below market value. Like brand new Subarus, I think are going for like 30K. So I just sent the money for the car through PayPal and Aaron picked it up for me and dropped it off at the airport upon my arrival tomorrow in Denver. So shout out to him. And with that being said, tomorrow morning, I got to get up for the airport at 3 a.m. But before we do that, the next portion of this video is sponsored by Moomoo, who's giving away up to 15 free stocks if you click the top link down below in the description. And they are also offering new users 8.1% APY on their uninvested cash for a limited time. My favorite thing about the Moomoo app after using it for a few months is their news tab, where you can get the latest news about what's going on in the markets. And this is a great tool you can use to help research on stocks. And they even have an earnings tab where they mention what companies are about to report their profits. You guys can see here in the app where it shows all the companies that are set to report earnings this week, which always makes for an interesting ride. Overall, Moomoo is a great app and their 15 free stocks offer is perfect, especially for those of you new investors who are looking to get started. And if you're curious, that breaks down between 5 free stocks when you create an account with Moomoo and deposit just $100, and another 10 free stocks once your total deposits on Moomoo reach $1,000. The link to sign up will be down below in the description, and I'll see you guys tomorrow once we fly out to the Denver airport. After a quick flight this morning and a shuttle over to the airport parking lot, you guys can see we've officially found the Turo car. And to go ahead and get the keys, what we need to do is walk over under the car. Aaron actually left the keys in this little box, so it's like a magnetic strip that hides under the car. Then we're gonna simply open it, and this is how we get the car on. Clearly the battery is dead because I'm trying to turn the vehicle on and you don't hear anything, but we have jumper cables and we're gonna get this car jump started so we can begin our journey back to Milwaukee. Shout out to this guy for the help. Met him on the plate. Now that we got the car all plugged in, we're gonna go ahead and get it started. Alrighty, let's hit the road, baby. We ended up driving the car to a Costco where the homie Paul from the plane helped me install the new battery I bought.
I like making new friends and I like being happy.
It's all good, thank you. I just met him on the plane. It was super random, but we're gonna give you a ride home, right?
Bam.
We ended up hanging out for 2 days in Breckenridge, getting a little sidetracked and just having a ton of fun.
3, 2, 1, score! Happy hour!
But then I began the brutal 16.5-hour drive home, which I did across a day and a half. I just got back from my trip last night, and you guys can see my Subaru Outback is currently sitting in my driveway next to my roommate's Nissan Z. And taking a look at the car, you guys can see the back piece of the front side mirror is actually broken off. And on top of that, opening the car door, you guys can see the car is a little bit dirty from the trip, but nothing too bad. I'm gonna have to vacuum and clean it out on the inside today, though. Now turning the car on, you guys can see it has a whopping 79,354 miles on the odometer. The trip we took from Denver to Breckenridge to my house back in Milwaukee was like 1,200 miles, so the car is definitely gonna need an oil change relatively soon, but unfortunately, before we can get an oil change or fix the side mirror, the car actually has a trip. Since when I listed it on my profile, it got a booking before I could block the car off. So on that note, the car has a trip from the airport at 10 a.m. today for total earnings of $299.44, since the lady's gonna have the car for 5 days. Hopefully she doesn't mind the minor damage on the vehicle, so before we rent it out to her, we're gonna get it all cleaned up by taking it to the car wash and vacuuming the inside. So let's get going, guys. After about 30 minutes of cleaning, you guys can see the car is fully clean on the inside. We got it all nice and perfect. Perfecto, baby. And now that the vehicle is fully cleaned up, we're gonna go ahead and bring it to the airport. And just like that, guys, we've officially brought the Subaru for its first ever airport rental. We're gonna park it. Now that we've got the Subaru parked here at the airport, we're gonna go ahead and walk over to the Uber lot, since today, instead of taking my electric scooter back to the house, we're gonna be Ubering home since I'm a little bit on a time crunch. Since right after this at 10 o'clock, I have to go to my vending machine, and I've kind of abandoned it. I haven't gone to my vending machine location in like a month, so it's definitely important that I do that today, and I don't have time to waste scootering home. The Uber has officially been booked, and it'll be here in 2 minutes. I'm also gonna be taking you guys with to the vending machine location right after this. Boom, as you guys can see, we're back at the vending machine. machine. I already filled up all the drinks. They were completely empty when I got here, and now I just have to put in the chips and a couple more candies in this section. This is the inventory we're gonna use to fill up, so let's get started. Refilling the vending machine took me about 15 minutes. Then it was time to collect the cash. Now that we've pretty much restocked the entire vending machine, the next thing we're gonna do is collect the money. And to do that, we gotta go over to the bill acceptor right here and take it off. Now inside of it, you guys can see we got a solid stack of cash. That's probably the biggest stack of cash I've seen. Look at that. On top of this money, which is probably around $70 in cash, we also got some more in this change area. Holy smokes, pretty heavy. The total for all the change came out to $33.15, and after counting up all the cash, we had $78. Now taking a look at the credit card and Apple Pay sales in the last 22 days exactly, they came out to $123.45 for a combined earnings of $234.60. But remember, only 50% of that is profit, since I have to pay for all the snacks and drinks I fill the machines with. But on that note, I finished the morning off by getting the Nissan Sentra ready for a big trip that lasts 12 days that's going to earn us another $578.55. In total this morning, between the 2 Turo trips and the vending machine collection, we generated $1,112.59 in revenue, and that's the beauty of seeing your investment make you more money. After that big trip on the Sentra, the car's earnings for the month of December total $1,285, which is the best month so far. And after expenses like the car wash membership, insurance, and maintenance for let's say $50 per month, we're still at a good margin of profit. Going forward, I'm expecting the Turo fleet to generate at least $2,000 in revenue every single month. So be sure to drop a like if you're excited to watch me grow the Turo fleet the right way this time. I'm super excited to run it back. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in another video soon. Peace out.